This is the Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, on Alternative Talk, AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage and finance expert, Tina Mitchell.
Welcome back to the Money Hour with your host and mortgage expert, Tina Mitchell, right here on 1150 AM KKNW, the Saturday, October 25th show. My goal is to keep you up to date on the latest news and trends in our local economy. Keep me tuned in, and I will keep you informed. If you're hearing my show at a different time or day, listening to a rebroadcast to talk with myself or any of the guests that I have in studio, please pick up the phone and call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. I have Robert Christensen from Amada Senior Care, and Amada Senior Care owner and locations are in Tacoma, Bellevue, Vancouver, Portland, and Salem, Oregon. Amada Senior Care provides home care, home health, and placement services. Robert has 20 plus years working in the healthcare field. Amada Senior Care educates seniors and their families about the resources that are available for them as they age and need care. Amada Senior Care has expertise in working with seniors that have long-term care insurance. Amada Senior Care educates families about care options both in-home and in the community. Excited, Robert, to have you in studio first time. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having me, Tina.
We've had a couple segments that have been dedicated to our senior community, and there's just a lot of things going on. And what is the statistics now, Robert, of how many people are turning? Go ahead.
How many people are turning 65 every day? Every day, about 10,000 seniors turn 65 every day, and that number continues to grow as the baby boomers go into retirement. So,
yeah, unbelievable. And really, it's preparing for the cost of care, and the ability to prepare for the cost of care in home is what we're going to talk about today. So again, I'm so excited to have you here. So if you have a listener that wants to stay in their home, will Medicare pay for this, Robert?
That's a good question. A lot of people put away and they save money for retirement, thinking that that Medicare is there for them to pay for all their care as they age. And Medicare really is designed to help seniors out in crisis when they've had an event like falling and breaking a hip. And so Medicare is designed to help them, really get well and back on their feet. And so, yes, it's there for them so that they can come home from the hospitals, recover well, but it's really designed for short-term therapy and then in becoming well. Or if they go into hospice or end-of-life care, that's where Medicare is going to kick in. It's really not going to cover that maintenance care that's needed in the home for a lot of seniors as they age.
So if that's the case, Robert, what resources are available to pay for care in the home?
Right now, we talked about that statistic of 10,000 seniors turning 65 every day. And predominantly, when we talk about home care services, people are spending their retirement savings. They put away money in 401ks. They've been putting them in IRAs. And predominantly, sadly, it's cash. It's the retirement. But there are lots of other vehicles that are out there. If you've looked ahead at time, and about 10 to 12% of seniors have, they purchase long-term care insurance. And that's designed to help protect those assets and allowing seniors to stay in their home. So that's a major vehicle that people have. Also, there's reverse mortgages, and reverse mortgages have gotten a bad rap over the years, and the government has really taken a lot of steps and improved that model. And so that's a vehicle. Our veterans that have served in time of conflict, there's a program called Aid and Attendance that's available for them.
Okay.
And so there's about a handful of those vehicles that are there for people, but predominantly people have their retirement savings to pay for that care.
Yeah, so it's talking with an expert that can help counsel and making sure that you know what all your options are so you can pick the option that's going to work out best for you. So what type of services can Home Care Health Agency provide in the home?
Well, there's two different types of licenses that are out in the state of Washington. You have a home health care agency, which is predominantly there to bill Medicare and help you recover after you've had an incident. And that's short-term care. Caregivers or nurses or physical therapists or occupational therapists will come in the home a couple of days a week for a short period of time to get you well.
Okay.
And that's what home health agencies predominantly do. Home care agencies are licensed non-medical care agencies, and they're there to come in, and it's more personal. And they're usually smaller companies that have caregivers and predominantly certified nursing assistants that come in the home on set time schedules to help seniors remain as independent as they possibly can in their home for as long as they can. And that's helping out with things like housekeeping, meal preparation, bathing, dressing, and those activities of daily living that when we're healthy we don't think about, but when as we age and have illness, that we soon learn how fortunate we are where we were when we were healthy.
Sure. You don't know how not until you go through something like that, and then you think back all the preparation that you could have done ahead of time. So what questions should a senior ask a home care agency before they hire them to provide care in their home?
You know, when you're looking at having somebody come in, and my experience has been that seniors predominantly want to. I think of my mom. I call my mom and I ask, how are you doing? And, everything's always fine. And so just having somebody come in is a major transition for them. And so you may want to ask, how long have you been in business? How do you screen your caregivers? What do you look for in a caregiver? Have you had any major complaints or incidences filed against your license? But also you want to look at, let's say you have a long-term care insurance policy. You're going to want to make sure that the agency that you're hiring understands long-term care insurance. Ask them if they've ever filed a claim. Have they ever been an advocate or helped with the appeal process when these claims get hung up in the processing part as far as claiming and utilizing that policy that they've claimed on.
Got it. And if you're just tuning in, I'm here talking with Robert Christensen with Amada Senior Care, and really it's about preparing and planning for the future. And that's why I enjoy so much being the host of the Money Hour and just bringing in experts in anything relating to money. And it all boils down to preparation and talking with the right expert that can help you get into the best place and make the best decisions. So what is the difference between home care and home health, Robert?
Going back to those two major differences, really home health agencies were really designed to provide short-term skilled therapies. That's nursing, physical therapy, occupational therapy, designed to get you well, and it's usually there for about 3 to 6 weeks, a few days a week. Home care agencies are those non-medical activities of daily living, the dressing, the bathing, going shopping, and that are set up really on a one-to-one personal basis.
Okay. And so how do seniors with long-term care insurance know when it's appropriate to use their policy to pay for this care?
It's an interesting question. My experience has been those that have bought these policies have bought them usually 20 years before they actually need them. And depending on when they bought them and what generation they're in, the World War II generation, those that are 92 years old, they're holding on to them until the day that they can't get out of bed.
Okay.
Versus
because they have other resources that they might be utilizing.
No, because they are just as strong-willed, independent, been there, done that, and I don't need any help. And so these long-term care insurance policies are designed to help you stay in your home and independent as possible, as long as you can. And so it's a matter of knowing and working with your family members too. Let your family members know that you've got these policies. Okay. And every maybe 5 years, as you come into retirement, get them out. Let's review the benefits and how to claim on them, and so you understand what's in them. Because really, they are designed to help you remain in your home and be as independent as possibly you can. Yeah. But there's key triggers that you have to qualify to use them for. You just can't use them because you need somebody to go shopping for you.
Got it. Okay. And so how do seniors with long-term care insurance open a file and claim for care?
Well, that's what traditionally has happened, and long-term care insurance has really gotten a bad rap over the years because home care agencies like my agency, we do a great job of providing that one-on-one care that's needed in the home. We put care plans together, and kind of going back to what we talked about earlier, is the majority of this type of care is paid for by cash, and so. When you're opening up a claim, before you start care, you really need to open up that policy. Okay. Understand what's in it, what triggers it, putting a plan of care that caters to that policy, and then working with an agency that knows how to keep daily proper daily documentation that's needed to file the claim, and knows all the moving parts that go with that. Because more times than not, what happens is companies come in, they provide care, they do an excellent job, but they didn't know what was required on the front end of those claims. And then seniors have paid for these premiums all their life. They begin to use them, and then they get denied, they get frustrated, and then they drop these policies. And it's really a sad thing that happens to seniors that have these types of policies, thinking that they're covered, and when they go to use them, they end up getting denied.
So, Robert, what services are available for seniors that can no longer remain in their home?
Ultimately, seniors, they want to be in their home, and when that's no longer an option, it may be because they've got dementia and their spouse that's there as well, but they're not, and it's time to make those changes, or it may just be the cost of care in the home is too expensive. Yeah. So 20 years ago there was nursing homes, and everybody had this dreaded fear of putting mom in a nursing home. Today they've got in Washington, they have adult family homes that are licensed in our communities to provide that the continuation of care there. There's retirement communities that have full continuum of care, from retirement, independent living, assisted living, memory care. There's skilled nursing facilities. So there's a lot of options that are out there. And that's one of the things that we can do is help families know what's out there, what's available, what the cost of that care is, and what's the most appropriate place for that for them to receive the care. Yeah,
I mean, you got to get on the same page with your spouse too. I'm not ready to get into the senior living yet, but I know exactly what I want. I want to live in a retirement community, and my husband wants to stay in the home. So whole nother topic there, Robert. So what can a senior expect? You talked about the cost, and it can be extensive in being able to stay in your home. What are you looking at to pay for home care services? What can you expect?
Well, it depends on how many hours you're looking at and what the total care needs. If you look at Genworth does an annual cost of care every year, and the average cost of care in a skilled nursing facility is about $8,000 to $9,000 a month. Yeah. The cost of care in an assisted living facility is approximately the same. At home, depending on how many hours, if you're going to receive about 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, you're going to look at an annual cost of anywhere from $30,000 to $40,000 of care. So it can be very spendy, and so that's why on the front end you're going to want to make sure that you've planned appropriately and know when to use those assets.
Yeah, it makes total sense. So in order to provide home care services, what type of training to the caregivers do they have to complete?
Well, Washington a couple of years ago passed an initiative mandating that all caregivers have at least a home health aide certificate and training. And most home care agencies are hiring at least certified nursing assistants. So these are the same level of caregivers that work in the hospitals and the nursing homes. They're doing all the heavy lifting, all the day-to-day maintenance care. So predominantly certified nursing assistants, and it's a 3-week to a 3-month school and with both clinical and hands-on training, and they're certified by the state of Washington.
Yeah, that's great. So, Robert, I think you would agree with me, and I've heard you say it a couple times just in the few minutes that we've had here together in studio, that a lot of time seniors are not wanting to talk about this because they're fine, everything's going well, but really as children and grandchildren that are taking care of our parents, it's starting that conversation and starting it early so that they can prepare. Would you agree?
Absolutely. Nobody, I'm one of 9 kids, and so you can imagine our family getting together and having lively discussions. But ultimately, as our parents age, it's important to know and have a plan. How are we going to take care of mom or dad or our aunts or our uncles? And have some good dialogue about what resources are available. Yeah. And then also knowing where are we at in life. If we're 90 years old, what is the life expectancy, where we're at with the current illness, and then kind of having some real discussions about how are we going to manage the care that needs to be there, and make sure that mom and dad or our loved one is being taken care of and has dignity and respect.
Great advice, Robert. Thank you so much for coming into studio. It's a topic that I'm definitely passionate about, and have been through some things with my dad, and want to make sure that I can do it better the next time around when my mom needs that assistance. So I just appreciate so much. Again, if you want information, talk to an expert in this arena. Pick up the phone, give the show a call, 1-855-400-1150, and I can connect you directly with Robert. Robert, thanks again.
You bet, Tina.